Today on Inside Tuscaloosa City Schools, see how TCTA building construction students are getting real-world job experience. Also, find out how being a nationally board-certified teacher benefits students. And in sports, the Central Lady Falcons basketball team brought home the state championship. See how they did it. All this and more is coming up now. Hi, thanks for joining us today for Inside Tuscaloosa City Schools. I'm Eddie McClinton. Habitat for Humanity is using building construction students from the Tuscaloosa Career and Technology Academy to help with building houses for local families. They recently participated in a build in Alberta City.
We're out here with Habitat helping to build a house damaged by the tornado, and we've got Mr. Renfro has helped us pair with some experienced carpenters, and they're teaching us how to use tools in the real world and helping us do what carpenters do in the real world.
Builders Group invited us out along with Habitat for Humanity to help build a Habitat house. The owner of the house is here watching our students build. They invited us out to work with their supervisors. Builders Group, all of their supervisors are here today, and our students are working hand in hand with them. They're making the cuts, they're putting up the boards, they're doing all of it.
Well, he teaches us how to use the tools, and so we just take our knowledge that we already knew and come out here and apply it to the job site.
Asking the students, I've asked them throughout the day, are you enjoying it? And they say, I love it, this is fun. That lets me know that they buy into work. And they understand at the same time that they can make good money doing this. So it's a win-win on all sides. Not just for the Builders Group or Habitat, but Builders Group's looking. The companies around Tuscaloosa like War Construction, they've called us, they're looking for employees. So they're watching our students today to see which students that they could hire in the future.
It's really good knowledge to learn because, if you just took a carpentry class and then you just be like, well, I know how to use all these tools, but I don't know how to apply it. And now we get to come out here and learn how you actually do it.
I just talked to the head of Habitat today, and she has invited TCTA, our class, electrical, plumbing, to join in 2 houses a year now. So she wants the plumbing class to come in and plumb the whole house. She wants the electrical class to come in and do all the electrical, and my class to come in and help doing the framing. So that just puts TCTA's name out there. So Tuscaloosa Career Tech Academy is doing great things.
It feels good to know that we can just come out here and learn some and also help people too.
TCS administrators routinely take part in professional development offered by outside education experts. They received an inspiring and thought-provoking message recently from nationally known principal Baruch Kafili, who urged them to focus on their why.
Because they know what I'm going to bring when I come to the room. I'm going to talk about my why. I don't want to talk about sports with you. I don't talk about entertainment with you. I don't talk about politics with you. I want to talk about my why. I want to talk about these kids.
Your why is your foundation. It's your purpose for leading in the first place, your purpose for educating in the first place. So I'm saying to the leaders that were in the room today that you can never lose sight of your why. When you get to a point in your journey when you've lost your way, it's probably because you lost your why, and you got to go back and find your why and embrace it, walk in it, let it be your foundation, and everything you do is tied to your purpose, your why.
I heard him say was that oftentimes we lose our way because we forget our why, and that's something that we have to keep and carry with us each and every day, the why of the work that we do.
Today he was talking a lot about the why. Why do we do this? What's behind our instructional leadership, and why do we want to be school principals?
And because we have such amazing leaders in this school system who are very clear about their why and their purpose and what it is they intend to do as a result of their leadership, it's just really refreshing for me to reflect on the question that he posed for us today, which is, what's your why in this? And know that we have such amazing leaders in the Tuscaloosa City Schools.
TCS is dedicated to developing our teachers into the finest educators around. That is why the system has among the most nationally board-certified teachers in Alabama, and supports are in place to grow that number.
I knew that I would really have to analyze what I did as a teacher, and I felt like it would make me better at what I did and more aware of what my students needed. And so I thought that it was the best way to improve my practice.
I am a lifelong learner, someone who constantly tries to do better in what I do. And after I finished school, I decided to do National Board Certification because I knew that it was something that would help me to refine my practice.
National boards made me a reflective teacher, made me think about what I do for students and why I do it, and what I need to do in my next steps. And so going through the national board process really made me a better thinker and a better reflector of what I can do to help students, and it made me dig a little deeper.
Well, I think one of the things about national boards, I've taken classes, I've taken PDs. National board focuses on you as a teacher and your students. Every single thing you do with national boards is going to be about you and your teaching and your students.
It has made me a better leader. It's also made me more willing to take risk, because that's really where the big payoff is sometimes the risks work out really well.
And I think that once you're able to identify where your students are and how they learn best, then you're able to address their learning and make sure that you are creating an environment where they feel safe and they're able to learn and they want to do student inquiry and they're able to explore and hopefully be able to show you their full potential.
The part that I most liked about it was the way it lets you collaborate and gave you a really good reason to pull people in or to go outside of your space. So. It is a very difficult, people do get through it by themselves, but it is really hard. It helps so much to have a support system. And the fact that the city is sort of embracing that and providing that sort of support is just wonderful.
They offer a lot of support for teachers who are starting the process and continuing through the process, anything from financial to emotional support, which we need as the process continues. And they offer us the opportunity to be there, to be leaders in our system.
So I think that the fact that our system values that teachers can be their best and go and support kids in their full potential speaks volumes for Tuscaloosa City Schools.
I really suggest to anybody to at least go through the process. Even if you don't pass, it changes the way that you teach. And so I really appreciate the Tuscaloosa City Schools going through and making it such an important part and offering stipends and offering support for those teachers.
I think it's extremely important. I do not think you can do national boards without support. I think you have to have support because it is individualized, but you need to make sure that you're collaborating. And that's one of the powers that the system has had, is this collaboration.
Librarian Temple Little opened the new library when Arcadia Elementary School opened in August. Now she is stocking the shelves with some new books.
The shipment of books on February the 26th from Permabound, and the students are really excited because we've waited the entire school year for this big order to arrive, and we're very grateful for the opportunity to receive such a nice order of books. This is actually the second shipment of books that we've received this school year. We originally funded $50,000. Our school board and our superintendent and all of our leaders in our district have really placed a big emphasis on literacy, and so we feel like this is the best way to improve literacy, is to put books in the hands of kids. And so this particular order that we received on February the 26th was for $30,000 worth of books. We worked to get a more balanced collection of newer, higher interest books that our students would be interested in. Our collection was in great need, and so we're very excited about the opportunity to put these new wonderful books in the hands of these children.
In a very patriotic ceremony that most students never get the chance to witness, members of the Marine Corps Junior ROTC program from Paul W. Bryan High School conducted a flag retirement ceremony at Tuscaloosa Magnet Schools Middle. Tuscaloosa City Board of Education approved the contract extension of Superintendent Dr. Mike Daria at a call board meeting on March 19th. Board Chairman Eric Wilson recommended an extension of the superintendent's contract until June 30th, 2023 to lead the Tuscaloosa City Schools. Wilson calls Daria a true leader and visionary for the school system in a statement released by the Tuscaloosa City Schools. Wilson says the system is confident that Dr. Daria will continue to bring tremendous energy and innovation to the system. Under Daria's leadership, the school system has expanded the summer enrichment program and rebuilt or renovated every school in the system, including the construction of new schools at Arcadia Elementary, Northridge Middle, Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary Schools. When we come back, we'll tell you why a TCS teacher is headed to Morocco. It's next on Inside Tuscaloosa City Schools. Don't go away.
Keep up with the latest Tuscaloosa City Schools news. Check out exciting photos and informative videos by liking the Tuscaloosa City Schools on Facebook. Log on to facebook.com/TCS Board of Ed for the latest in City Schools news.
Teachers across Tuscaloosa are preparing the next generation of leaders, and their efforts are made easier with your support. From the classroom to the community to the playing field, see how City School students are making an impact. Watch Inside Tuscaloosa City Schools Monday through Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. and Thursday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. on Comcast Channel 20 and UVerse Channel 99.
For up to the minute notices on important Tuscaloosa City Schools happenings, follow us on Twitter at TCS Board of Ed.
Welcome back. Oakdale Elementary School librarian Melissa Kent received a Fulbright scholarship to travel to a foreign land and enhance her knowledge.
Our school is now a school of global communicators and leaders, and that inspired me. I always liked the idea of, atlases and globes and traveling. I like it. So I started looking, and I saw the Fulbright, which is a very well-known, very prestigious thing that's offered to college students and college professors. Well, they've started offering something for classroom teachers, and it included librarians. And so I had to apply for it. And I got it. I was one of 72 out of the United States to get it for this year. And we had to do a very intense online course, which was not dissimilar to national boards. It was pretty intense. In less than 2 weeks, I am going to Morocco, all funded by the Fulbright. I'm going to be, you're partnered with an American teacher, and then you're partnered with a Moroccan teacher. And so for the first week, we'll all be together in the capital city and meeting with education professionals and going to different schools. And then the second week and a half, we are being dispersed out into the country. And so my partner, Lynn, and I are going across the country to Oujda, and I'll be working with teachers there and students there, so it's very exciting. Turns out that there's another person out of the 72. Alabama has 4 this year, so we're very well represented.
Magnet Middle School students learned a variety of things, including African dance, hair braiding, spoken word, jewelry making, stick fighting, and African masks. during Wakanda Day, a celebration of African history and culture in America. Fifth graders at Arcadia Elementary School dug deep while researching famous African Americans, and they portrayed them at a living wax museum.
Today in Arcadia, we are doing a Black History Month program. We picked up people that we're supposed to be presenting, and we act like we're that person and talk about that person and tell about that person.
Getting to learn history, like, some of us didn't know about all these people until we had like 1 month to research our people, get it on our boards, find our props, find our clothes, and learn about them. Like, half of us have learned way more things than we known about Black history people over our whole lives.
I just think it's wonderful that they came out with Black history. I think it's wonderful that Blacks want to live their dreams and express themselves just like whites.
And this has been beneficial to the kids. Our students in 5th grade have been spending all month learning about different and important African Americans in our society, and they have the opportunity to share what their knowledge that they've gained through their studies in 5th grade this past semester, and we get to highlight it in our Black History Living Wax Museum. So we're really excited that they get to show off and also work on those soft skills that are so important that we're trying to help our students learn through presentation and speaking. And so we're really excited to be able to merge those soft skills along with their academic knowledge and celebrate our Black history leaders. Yeah, it's very important that all of our students, they've had the opportunity to come through and learn. Each of our classrooms, teachers chose to do a different project in their class for Black History Month, but we wanted to also allow our 5th graders to present what they've learned, and so it's an opportunity for our other students throughout pre-K through 5th grade to learn about the important influences that our African Americans have had in our society and the things that they do every day.
Students at University Place Elementary School also had a living wax museum with famous African Americans from Alabama. Welcome into sports. TCS students made up the majority of those participating in the annual Regional Special Olympics bowling tournament. Check out the highlights from this fun event. In other Special Olympics news, the Tuscaloosa Mustang, a team made up of students from Central, Northridge, and Paul W. Bryan high schools, brought home the state basketball title during a two-day tournament in Montgomery on March 7th and 8th. The Mustangs went 3-1 in the double elimination tournament and defeated the Decatur Raiders 30-17 to win the title. This is the 6th championship in 10 years for the team and Coach Peter LaCentra. Team members include Best Sportsmanship Award winner Donovan Johnson, Tournament MVP and Captain Ashante Quarles, Luke Richardson, Jacob Watts, Offensive MVP Edward Odom, Defensive MVP Deion Tinson, Most Improved Player Cameron Washington, Ramona Coleman, and Angelina Hughley. Well, after advancing to the regional finals all 8 years of his coaching tenure, including 4 trips to the girls' Class 5A Final Four, Central Lady Falcons basketball coach Michael Rivers has brought the state title back to Tuscaloosa for the first time in 23 years.
The Central High School Lady Falcons basketball team is familiar with Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama. The team has spent a lot of time in this building during the past few years. In fact, Central High School has played for the girls' Class 5A state championship 3 times in the past 4 seasons. But will the memories of those championship defeats, including a disappointing double-digit loss in the title game a year ago, affect the confidence of this team? Or has the experiences learned by those past heartbreaks been the fuel that Coach Michael Rivers' team needs to propel them to the school's first state title since 1996? Central enters the contest with a 26-3 record on the season. This team has lost just once since the middle of December, and no team in their classification has been able to derail this machine. But the opponent in this championship game, Madison Academy, has been here before, and they have back-to-back titles in Class 4A to show for their efforts. The Mustangs beat top-ranked Ramsey in the semifinals to set up this date with the Falcons. In the early going, it appeared that this would be a back-and-forth affair. As the Falcons and Mustangs traded baskets, Quintasia Leatherwood with a big 3 to continue her hot shooting, following 21 points in the semifinals. Falcons trailing 7-5. Leatherwood finds Zakiah White down low for the score. White will be counted on to establish her presence around the basket. Leatherwood knocks down another tray, then implores her teammates to step up the defensive intensity. And it leads to a steal and a big three-pointer by Kanaja Jones. The Falcons begin to assert themselves as the more athletic team, especially on the defensive end of the floor. The mistakes begin to plague the Mustangs, and the Falcons hold a 16-9 advantage after a quarter. They led after 1 a year ago too, but then went ice cold in the second quarter and trailed by 5 at the break. But Coach Rivers is not interested in a repeat. The Falcons reel off 6 unanswered to start the second quarter. Mackenzie Mahone is a nightmare for passers. She converts the turnover into easy points as the lead climbs to 15. Whenever the Mustangs look to grab some momentum, the Falcons snatch it right back to the tune of an 18-point halftime lead. The Lady Falcons are 16 minutes away from bringing a girls' state title back to Tuscaloosa for the first time in more than 2 decades. But Michael Rivers will not take this for granted and encourages his team to keep battling. Leatherwood starts the second half the way she did the first, hot from the field. But Madison Academy knows what it takes to win, and they start to chip away at the Falcon lead. When this Central team needs to make a play, they come up with a big stop on the defensive side. Then White stops the Mustang run with the easy 2. And making plays like this are proof that White is one of the state's best inside players. Leatherwood has elevated her game to new heights as these birds of prey feast on the opponent. As the clock winds down in the third quarter, there's a feeling in the air that this night belongs to the team from Tuscaloosa. Rejection and dejection. But belief is hard to eliminate. And when the Mustangs whittle an 18-point deficit down to 10 with 6.5 minutes remaining in the game, they find that belief again. 2 Mackenzie Mahone free throws push it back to 12. But this Falcon momentum is brief, as the Mustangs convert on 4 consecutive trips down the floor. The Never Say Die Falcons, led by Mahone, take advantage of their superior athleticism. But the opponent keeps shooting and making 3-point shots. The lead dwindles from 18 at the start of the fourth quarter to just 4 points with under 2 minutes to play. And Central will have to hold on without White, who fouls out with 1.5 minutes left. Coach Rivers knows at this point the Falcons can win or lose the game at the free throw line. And when the pressure is on, they convert. The Falcons hang on by 3 to claim their first state title since 1996 and finish the 2018-2019 season as champions.
To keep up with the latest TCS news and information, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and connect with us on YouTube and Instagram at TCS Board of Ed. And visit our website too at www.TuscaloosaCitySchools.com. You can also hear regular TCS news updates on 103.3. Well, thank you so much for watching this show and supporting local education. We'll see you next time.